Hi, I'm Mandy Pryor, and welcome to the Southwestern Pennsylvania Business Podcast. We're going to be here with Maria Allshouse today to find out a little bit more about how you can be more resilient, let go of stress, and so much more. So thank you so much for joining us once again. Hi, Maria.
Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning. Yes, we're up kind of early. I was up early.
Yeah.
Are you an early bird?
I'm always an early bird.
Yeah.
I'm always an early bird.
I've been pushing lately.
I'm usually just finishing up at the gym right about now. But
Well,
today
good.
I am here in the presence of
She's
Mandy.
here with me. I've dragged her out of the gym, our favorite place, and here she is.
Here I am.
So, Maria, I've known you for years. I know your journey. I know what you've been through, and now you are reformatting and recharging yourself out there. So I want to find out more about it. I think it's so important to our audience out there to find out what you're doing, find out how we can help them, and learn a little bit more about you and what your journey is now.
Yeah. What is Marie? What is Coach Marie up to these days?
What's she up to?
What's she up to?
And she's also one of my favorite people, and I can't sit next to her at serious events. I know that.
We
so.
get ourselves in trouble.
We do.
Well, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here, and I'm all energized and ready to go. And it has been quite the journey. You met me right when I was launching my business after I had made a decision to leave my corporate career behind me.
My corporate career.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yes. So just a little bit about me. I was in corporate for 23 years. At age 50, I experienced a corporate downsize. So I took some time to really intentionally go into my heart and take that milestone of just turning 50 and decide what was next for me and to essentially reinvent myself. Okay. So looking at my story, as you know, my weight loss life, all my life of chronic dieting, disordered eating, and really having an opportunity to be part of a coaching environment through my corporate career, I decided to take my life lessons of turning my life around with health and pouring into others, so to show them it's never too late to take charge of your health. And it certainly has been a journey. It's hard to believe it's been 15 years since I started my journey and I had that rock bottom moment. But here I am, and I've helped hundreds of individuals recharge, take control of their health, and really understand the true meaning of what health is. So, yeah.
And you've recently, I don't know when, but you've recently become certified?
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about that. So I have many credentials, and but one that I'm most proud of is I am a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. So wow, what does that mean?
Yes, what does that mean?
Well, it's a distinction. It's like having a JD or an MD after your name in health coaching. It's a very rigorous process, and you go through a very trying journey in terms of getting that credentialing. And it's really a very rigorous evidence-based training program. So it's like, you know, if you need a lawyer, what are you going to do? Go to a doctor? No, you're going to go to an attorney. If you need help with your legal issues. If you have a medical problem, of course you're going to go to a doctor. You're not going to go to somebody that didn't go to medical school. So if you really want to...
You don't want to come to me as your doctor?
No.
I totally know everything about
Maybe as
doctoring.
my crazy therapist.
Is that what we call it, doctoring? So you did all this training, and so what does that look like in terms of what you can do with it?
Yeah, so I can do many things with it. I can actually work in a healthcare setting. I can work in a corporate setting, which is really where my primary focus is working with corporate executives and helping them reimagine their health, master their stress, and build resilience is really where my focus is. But I have worked with healthcare professionals in terms of helping them implement lifestyle programs into their practices.
And so I know most of corporations, even individuals, mastering your stress is huge. I mean, for me, it is like either I'm way overstressed or I'm like, well, I'm just gonna hang out here for a while. So,
Yep.
you know, what can you tell us a little bit about anything you can help with stress levels?
Yeah. So it's thank you for bringing that up, because it's a really important component to everyone's life today. You know, it's hard times for many people today, and the reality of it is, Mandy, is stress is never going away. It's part of our lives. And if you think about stress, think about, and I want everybody to ask themselves this question. There's 3 levels of stress. There's coping, there's managing, and then there's mastering. So what truly is the difference, and what do each of those mean? So I'm going to give analogies. For example, coping is being a firefighter, having that hose in your hand and just jumping from one flame to the next and putting out the fires. You're just on autopilot. Think of managing your stress as, say, an air traffic controller, where, you know, you got your wands and you're directing, you got your lanes, and you have some systems and processes in place to help manage some things. But then we have the mastering part of it. And it takes time to get there, but mastering is like a skilled surfer. They learn how to adjust their stance when that big wave is coming, and learn to live in the moment with adversity and understand their triggers and know that they got that wave that's coming behind them. So essentially, if you think about it as a growth mindset, they've learned to master their triggers in the moment. Does that make sense?
Take it on.
Yeah, and take it on.
So they know what's coming. They're more focused on what they're achieving than the stress that's behind it. Because they've learned to kind of maneuver around it.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I think, you know, I've definitely put things in place to manage my stress levels better.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's quite a feat to actually take it on and not just do what you've always done. And I think that's what a lot of people do is like, oh, I'm stressed, so, you know, I'm going to watch TV and eat my favorite foods and cope that way. You know, that's a coping mechanism. But instead saying, oh, do I need to take a break in what I'm doing? Do I need more exercise? Do I need to just do something different that you've already set in place? You know, journal or read a book or something that you know is like a coping. I like binaural beats. It's one of mine. Very interesting. If you ever want to feel like sounds are being pulled through your ears. It's amazing though, because it just releases your mind. You can't pay attention to anything but these like sensations from audio. So I suggest you try that if you haven't. It's very, it's on YouTube. But stress mastery, especially when you're going into corporations and you're focusing on a group of people's stress. You're not just focused on one person's individual journey. So how do you reach out to a whole group of people who have different stressors and help manage what they're doing?
So great question, right? Which can lead into some other things that I do. So I am a licensed certified stress master facilitator. So I actually have the ability to facilitate evidence-based stress mastery questionnaire. And it's backed by 30 years of psychology. So, you know, we can do it in a group setting. I also do it with one-on-one executives so that they can learn there's 11 triggers of stress. So they can actually learn where their stress is hitting them the most. And then we have ways to help them. Again, it's micro steps. I have ways to help them based on evidence on how they can better learn to master that area. So say, for example, one that's very prevalent in executives today, as we all have heard the term burnout.
I was just going to say burnout.
And it has been, well, it's defined by the World Health Organization as a medical condition. And if we don't understand our stress and learn to master it and become resilient in it, it can lead to burnout, you know, and burnout should not be taken lightly.
Yeah,
You know,
I believe it.
it's a real scientific, you know, based illness that we have today, and it's real. It's real.
Oh, I've definitely been through burnout more than a few times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, 2 years ago, when, just to share a personal story, you know, 2023 through, well, I said 2022 to 2020, end of 2023, you know, my brothers and I, we were caregivers for our parents. Our parents' health was declining, and I know there's many people out there that are processing caregiving. And it takes a toll on your health. Not only that, I was also trying to keep my business above water because the industry that I am took a massive shift. Like it you know, and I don't, you know, want to get into the weight loss aspect of things, but the industry took a tornado twirl, and I was trying to keep things above water, and I had to put my business on hold.
Yeah.
To give back to my parents what they gave to me. And I was actually diagnosed medically with chronic stress in 2023. So I worked with Dr. Peterson through this stress mastery questionnaire and that's really where my passion started to come, and being a facilitator of this program, because it helped me really understand what mastering stress is.
Well, and it shows that you have resilience. I mean, it's really coming back after that and dealing with taking care of parents while trying to do what you've always done. It's just you're juggling nonstop, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, I know you touch a little on resilience and then grace, which I think is huge, maybe the word for 2025 this year. So how can people become more resilient, and how can they show themselves grace in order to keep going on the track that they want to, while taking into consideration what they're going through, which not everybody does?
Yeah. So when we think about resilience, we think about really adapting and really learning how to not just push through and cope, but adapt, and really recover through, or learn how to change the way we look at things when it comes to obstacles and challenges, and really understanding how to recover from those and growing through those obstacles and those challenges, and most importantly, being self-accepting. This is where I am right now, and this is what I truly can do, and recognizing that it's okay. And grace is really about self-care and understanding your own self-compassion. And the best way I can put it is understanding that part of self-compassion, which is humanity. You're not in this alone. We all think that we're going through something by ourselves and that nobody else is going through it. But in reality, there's millions of other people going through it. So that's when we have to take a step back, especially executives and leaders, where they're in this high-performing environment where they're expected to perform at perfectionism. And there's no such thing.
Absolutely not.
You know, so hopefully I answered your question. I tend to go off on a tangent because I'm so passionate about it. But yeah, so, and grace is, you know, it was really hard for me to understand grace because I am one of those high performers, as you are. You know, you're running a chamber, you're a mom,
things constantly.
You have your own, you know, marketing program, and it's a lot, you know. But we're high achieving people, and we tend to forget ourselves, to give ourselves grace.
Yes, I mean, especially at work and with my kids. They come first, so I put them first. I put work second, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to take care of this person too, because I can't take care of the other things without taking care of myself.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing that many executives are learning, just based on my personal observation and working with some of them, is we have to give ourselves the courage to be vulnerable. We have to, if we can exemplify self-care and have that courage of vulnerability, and making our health a priority isn't being selfish.
No.
It's self-care. It's leading by example. And if they show their teams and their organizations that it's okay to take 15 minutes to regroup. It's okay if you have to take your child to a soccer game, or show that vulnerability and show that courage that,
Well, and I see my assistant, hi Megan, and she has stuff coming in at her all the time now, and we're both like just going as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But I did make a fun little fitness journey, if you will, at the chamber office. So we have like, if you're gonna push the door, do lunges.
Fun.
If you see the sign, go outside, walk to the end of Anderson.
Awesome.
We have Anderson equipment, so they have a huge long parking lot right in Collier.
Yeah.
And so it's suggested. I go, you don't have to do it, obviously, but like if I'm
Yeah.
upstairs and like I'm standing there waiting for my coffee maker takes forever, I'm like, I'll do like push-ups. But it's more to like, also not just to get healthy, but it's so. And she's done it. She started doing it. She has her watch go off. I'm like, go walk. Like, enjoy the walk. Take your time. You don't have to run. But you need that conscious break to reset your mind to come back and do better work too. I'm big on working out. I'm big on using that as a way to de-stress.
Yep.
I think you get more energy. I think it gives you better ideas. I mean, if you and I both walk, we run into each other quite a bit. And I think when you're clearing out your mind and you're not thinking of work,
Yep.
all of a sudden you get the best work idea, and you're like, oh, that's great. I don't have anything to write this down on though. So I do think that, health and wellness, de-stressing at the office, it doesn't have to be fitness.
Nope.
It
does
can
not.
be meditating. It can be listening to, a TEDx talk, or Maria, if you've seen her, she has videos out there. Listen to Maria talk, de-stress, decompress. But make sure you're taking those breaks within the day, and you'll be a better leader.
Yeah. I mean, walking meetings.
Yeah.
When, of course, in Pittsburgh, we have seasonal things when it comes to our bundle up if you're that brave, But, there is one simple thing that you can do throughout the day that takes literally less than a minute. And it's called the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. 4 seconds, take a deep belly breath, and you hold it for 7 seconds. And then you take that 8 seconds just to slowly release.
Is that the box breathing?
It's
that
similar.
a little different?
Yeah, it's similar. But what it does is it resets the parasympathetic nervous system, and it brings your body back to the present, and it lowers the stress hormones, and it calms you, and it brings you back to present. If you can find a minute, and it just takes a minute, and you would be surprised at how it disrupts the brain thought process of that stress in that moment when you're having that trigger.
Yeah, and when you're stressed, you're breathing much more shallow. And so that helps you calm your body just because you're taking a deeper breath.
Yeah.
I know I'll find myself, and it's a terrible habit to have, but I find myself like this, crunched over at my desk, not like stress breathing, and then I'm like, okay. Like I don't even know I'm doing it. It's just unconscious. So, just being aware of how you're working too, I think, is important. And
that's the
as
art
a
of
leader, you take on
ergonomics.
a ton.
Yeah.
You just take on something, and something else comes in between and after. So, what's your biggest tip to our executives out there, our leaders who are taking on everything and stress to the max?
Yeah. So, mastering your stress, it's almost like let's do a little bit of a comparison, right? For me, I'll use myself as an example. Taking on a lifestyle change, it's micro habits, micro steps, micro changes. Take the stress mastery questionnaire and see where you are with your stress levels.
And bring it to your group.
Let's bring it to your group, and let's Let's see where we can find that area or of opportunity. There could be common denominators. It could be being created by environment. It could be created by life-changing event. It could be the trait of perfectionism. There's, like I said, there's 11 triggers. Let's find out where you are, and let's work through that micro steps.
And everybody has a different personality. Everybody takes on stress and responsibilities in different ways. So what's not stressful to someone else is definitely stressful to other people. And so that's a good thing for the the team leaders to learn, is how their employees are reacting.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I can share is going and going and going and trying to do more and more and more is not being productive.
Yep.
If I can really truly give one takeaway with that, is rest is part of productivity. We need to take that break to re-energize, to recharge. It's like, think of it this way. If you put, I'll give you another analogy. I love analogies. If you put sugar in your gas tank,
Don't do
what's going to happen?
that. Well, I've never done it. I'm
Your
assuming
car,
it
the
would.
engine's not going to run.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as bringing all that stress onto yourself, or putting all that unhealthy, we all like the simple pleasures in life. I mean, I enjoy Sarah's ice cream on my birthday every year.
Oh, those little
and
mini powder donuts. Oh, the white ones?
We all need to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. It's not about deprivation, but it's about, and I don't like the word balance either, because there is no such thing. Learn how to harmonize and learn how to adjust your lifestyle when life comes at you. And that's really how you master stress, is learning how to adjust those different lifestyles in your life, whether it be physical activity, whether it be nutrition, whether it be,
Well, in nutrition, and we'll get into how you always say age powerfully, but nutrition becomes all of a sudden much more important as you age. You notice things more, whereas you could live off pizza and, everything. You could just eat everything in your 20s. All of a sudden you're like, I notice a difference when I'm not having enough vegetables. I notice a difference when I'm not eating avocados or seeds, or just running on empty. So I think that's also something that fits in, and that lowers your stress levels because you're getting the nutrients, the magnesium, the different nutrients you need to have lower stress levels as well.
So nutrition is, you can never say 100%, but nutrition is 85 to 90%. And I don't want to go off on a scientific tangent, but junk in, junk out. Your gut is your second brain. And, the more whole, healthy foods you feed it, because we've got lots of hormones going on. We've got our serotonin, we've got our dopamine, we've got our insulin. And the more whole, healthy food we give to our gut, the more healthy our thought process is going to be, the better our brains are going to function, because they're connected by this information highway called the vagus nerve, and they communicate. Your gut is more powerful than your thinky brain. So nutrition
you
is
have so many
definitely,
responsibilities.
yeah, nutrition is definitely key to anxiety and managing stress and boosting serotonin, and so.
Good. Now you have some speaking engagements coming up, some different things that I know you wanted to talk a little bit about. So share with me, where will we see Maria in 2025?
So I'm excited because I am partnering with Max Cole Salon and Spa for a 5-part speaker series that launches April 3rd, I believe, is the first one. It's being held at, and I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but if you go on my social media or the Max Cole social media, you'll see all the event information. It's on Eventbrite as well. But it's a 5-part speaker series. We're all speaking on our areas of expertise. I will be speaking on stress mastery. We
I
have
should have signed up for that.
Yeah, we have others speaking on, Nicole speaking on her mission granted, her mission there. We have Holly speaking on her life experience with how to get those intricate, intimate moments between life and work. And Holly has a heck of a story. We have Adriana who's speaking on the customer experience and having events. We have... oh boy, who's the other? Oh, Beth Caldwell. Beth Caldwell is speaking on, forgive me, Beth, I can't remember what you're speaking on. But we also have skincare experts for DMK that are partnering with us to build confidence from the outside in. Healthy skin, healthy internal, healthy. So it's kind of a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm also speaking at an executive leadership retreat for women in June in Deep Creek. There'll be more about that.
Coming up.
Corporate executives are welcome to attend. And I'm also speaking for the Autism Caring Center with Kelly Kane at the end of April at her annual
Conference for moms.
For moms, yeah.
Which Kelly was just on the program.
Yeah, Kelly's. I spoke there last year, and I'll tell you what, it was truly an eye-opening experience to see the sacrifice that those moms give to their children.
Oh, I can imagine.
Day in and day out. And it really just gives them a day to regroup, and give themselves that self-care that we talked about. So, yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing you speak everywhere this year.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming on today.
Oh my gosh,
we'll
thank
share
you for
all of her
having me.
information. Absolutely. We have to get back to our busy, stressful lives. So this was our zen place to just talk and cut.
Well, thank you, Mandy. It's
Anytime.
always a pleasure, and we've certainly built a great partnership over the years. And I will tell you, the Southwest Chamber has been instrumental in helping me grow and develop as a business owner and truly as both personally and professionally. So I appreciate your business relationship, and I do appreciate your personal relationship as well.
And Woman of the Year, 2023?
2019.
2019.
Yeah,
Pre-COVID.
two-time Woman of the Year.
Always a Woman of the Year. Well, thanks for coming on, Maria, and we look forward to hearing more from you throughout the year.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
So if you are looking for a corporate program for your health and wellness needs, please reach out to Maria, as well as go see her speak. De-stress, and thanks so much to Maria for coming on. We'll have another episode of this Southwestern PA Business Podcast coming up soon. Thanks.